Alrighty, we are at our last video. I'm so sorry that it took me this long to record it. We've had a crazy morning. Here we are. The instructions on the guidelines show, and it reads, the learners will have to prepare a poetry reading for Monday, the 10th of August. That is next week, Monday. The poem needs to have at least 2 stanzas. Here we are with an example poem, and this is where I'm going to describe a stanza to you. So a stanza, in this case, what I want is 4 lines. That is 1 stanza, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. That's my first stanza. This is my second stanza. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Normally, the words that end a sentence in a stanza are the words that rhyme. So let's see. I had a cat who was so fat, he could not even sit on his mat. So the first line, the second line and the fourth line, the words that end are the words that rhyme. He had a hat that did not fit. He put it on and then it split. That is an example of the rhyming that you can use in your stanza. 4 lines per stanza, and I want the rhyming words. Now, you can, that's the other thing. A poem and the layout of a poem will be discussed with the learners along with an example of a poem. That's what I'm doing. Suggestions will be made as to how they can read it for a better mark. We'll get to that. But this is the most important part. The poem must be written by the child himself or herself. You are writing this poem. Mommy's not writing this poem. Sister isn't writing this poem. Brother isn't writing this poem. Daddy isn't writing this poem. Grandmother isn't writing the poem. Grandfather isn't writing the poem. Nobody in your family or any of your friends are writing the poem. Only you. Okay? So you are writing the poem. Not this one, your own. I want your own poem. That has 2 stanzas, which means eventually your poem will have 8 lines. Note that I didn't say 8 sentences, I said 8 lines. Now, the way that your poem is laid out, listen to the way that I read this one. I had a cat who was so fat, he could not even sit on his mat. He had a hat that did not fit. He put it on and then it split. It has to have a rhyme to it. It has to have a pattern, a rhythm to it. Okay? So, in this poem, they decided the 2nd line and the 4th line rhyme, and the 6th line and the 8th line rhyme. That is how they decided to make it work. I had a cat who was so fat he could not even sit on his mat. He had a hat who did not fit, put it on and then it split. Fit, split, fat, mat. Cat and hat do also rhyme. You can put it in an extra rhyme if you need to, but not necessary. That's a really cute cat with a hat. Okay, so this is an example of the poem that I want. I want 8 lines. I want rhyming words. This has to be a rhyming poem. Make it rhyme any way that you want. 2 stanzas, which means 8 lines. Okay, I hope you guys understand exactly what I want. If there are any more questions, have mommy or daddy send me a message and I will answer it as best I can. Can't wait to read it or to hear it.